I wish that Andy, Bravo, and everybody else involved would just let these girls drag each other just once, because some of these girls need to be dragged, and Portia is the main bitch that needs to be dragged because I'm fucking over her ass. Like, I never thought in a million years that I would be at this point with Portia Williams. That bitch is a fraud. That bitch is a liar. And I just can't fuck with her like that. Like, she's a big liar. You can tell that this season right here, she would do anything to turn her full check. She would do anything to keep her peach because she already know that at some point her ass is gonna be gone. They've been threatening to get rid of her ass since she put her hands on Kenya, and since she put her hands on Cynthia. She knows that she's gonna be out the door, so she got to create a bunch of the unnecessary drama. And this shit between her and Candy is really unnecessary because they ain't never had no beef like that to the point where they're at this point. So I'm just looking at Portia like, bitch, you are such a liar. Everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. Like, I don't believe nothing you say. And this ain't even about being Team Candy. And it ain't about being Team Fuck Portia either. It's just mainly about what we all see on camera at this point. What we see is that, first of all, you saying that, do you honestly think that Candy would have drugged this girl and took her to a sex dungeon and then lied about having a sex dungeon? Now, the fact that Portia tried to say that Candy had a sex dungeon and Candy denies it, that right there alone lets me know that Portia is a big liar. Because if Candy had a sex dungeon, she would tell us that she had a sex dungeon. Let's just be for real. Her whole damn toy line. She got a sex toy line. She got a whole show about sex. Why would she lie about having a sex dungeon? Anybody with common sense would think of things like that. And you know, we all know that Portia ain't got no common sense. The bitch is dumb anyway. You know she's dumb as a box of rocks. She ain't got no sense. So why would I expect her to have any sense at this point anyway? But she's a liar. And I just can't get over the fact that she lies that much. Portia ain't shit but a liar. Okay? That's number one. Number two, when Candy said that it took everything out of her to not choke Portia, and Portia told her to choke her, I wish Candy would have took that opportunity to choke her bitch ass. But we already know that if they put their hands on each other, they can get off the show, they can lose their money and all of this shit. So that's why she ain't put her hands on Portia. But somebody needs to put their hands on Portia because this bitch done got way too reckless with her mouth and with her hands. I'm about over Portia at this point. I'm over it. She's a fucking liar. I don't believe nothing that bitch say. And my opinion is not up for motherfucking debate either. So if you want to leave your opinion down there, leave it below. But don't come in challenging me and what the fuck I'm saying. Because I'm stern on my belief that Portia is a liar. And I'll take Candy's side on this 100%. And it's just based off the receipts that she gave us. It's just based off her personality alone. The text messages showed that. And her personality alone shows that. So girl, really? And the fact that some of y'all think that Candy is taking it way too serious. This is a damn rape charge pretty much. Like, if somebody drugging you, taking you to some sex dungeon, you accusing them of rape. That is way too much. You Bill Cosby and a motherfucker. But I guess, you know, because it's Portia and because she's the star of the show and she makes the show great, we're supposed to sit up here and believe everything she says and go along with it. Bitch, please. But anyway, the next day they get ready to do, you know, they get ready to go for a speedboat ride. And Candy tells Todd that she really don't want Portia going with her. You know, she just not over what happened the night before, and she just don't want to be around her. And honestly, I wouldn't want to be around the bitch either. Let's just be 100 about that. Wouldn't want to be around the bitch, period. So the next thing you know, she calls Phaedra, and she tells Phaedra that, you know, I don't want Portia going anywhere with us today, so you can just relay that message to her and tell her to chill out with a man because I don't want her going. And Phaedra was like, well, that may be the best idea, so I relay the message. Next thing you know, Phaedra comes in with this bathing suit on, digging all in the ass in front of Todd, and I'm like, but ain't that the same shit you maligned Kenya for when she was doing all that shit in front of Apollo? Okay, hypocrites on fleek. That's why y'all two best friends. But anyway, she tells Portia that, you know, Candy really don't want her to go on the ride with her. And you know, Portia was like, well, I'm not upset about it. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't want to go nowhere with it anyway, so it really don't matter. So I just, take my loss, I guess. So, she decided to stay back with Todd, and, they go get a massage together and everything like that. So I think it was two different buses. The group was talking about Candy and Portia's beef, and we got Phaedra on the end, sitting up here defending Portia, acting like she ain't doing nothing wrong, talking about, well, I don't know who's lying or who's not. Phaedra, bitch, you know who lying, and you know that the fucking liar is Portia. But of course, that's your friend, so you don't want to come off as if you're, shitting on her. But Phaedra was just like Cynthia said, Portia can rob a damn bank, and Phaedra could know that she robbed the fucking bank, could have seen it with her own eyes, so she'll still find a way to defend Portia. They're both gonna defend each other in they fuck ups. And I just feel like that's not real friendship. If you know a motherfucker lying, if you know a motherfucker wrong, as a friend, you should be that person to say that they're wrong and that they're fucked up for what the fuck they're doing. But these are two bitches that lie about everything. Like Phaedra lied about her damn due date, so what the fuck do I expect? Like, she's a liar anyway, and she's a known liar, and she's been one since she's been on the show. So what the fuck do I fucking expect? Let's just be real about it. So while they're on a boat ride, Sheree and Bob have an emotional moment because the fact that Bob choked, got physical with Sheree in the past is brought up. And it was like, have you ever hit Sheree? Have I ever choked you? And she was like, yeah. And then he was like, well, I'm sorry about that. Because maybe I didn't choke you enough. And then, no, hard enough, I think. And then Sheree starts crying. And I'm guessing that Bob made that out of a joke. But, Sheree didn't take that shit as a joke. And who would take that shit as a joke? Me? I'm like, you just straight up said that you didn't choke me hard enough. And I should have. And you should have choked me hard enough. That ain't no joke for you to be saying in front of everybody. Like, and that right there lets Sheree know that this ain't for her. You know what I mean? Like, she really cried about that. And one thing I can say about Kenya, even though she can be fucking annoying, the least that she could do is comfort a person even if she don't like them. Because she did the same thing with Nene at the reunion, especially because they had the same background as far as them not having their parents in their life. So I can't say that about Kenya. I can't say that. So, after they do the speed boating and have a good time with that, they go to dinner, and Phaedra proposes a restoration service for all the ladies, to involve Portia in it, everybody talk about their issues and get everything together. So, they all agree to it, and they want to take, Peter out. They want all the men to get together and do something with each other. So, Cynthia don't think that the restoration service is gonna work. Candy's saying she don't give a fuck. She still ain't fucking with Portia. I wouldn't fuck with it either. But they decide to go to the restoration service in Phaedra's hotel room. So, Portia arrives and then Sheree arrives. Then there's a knock on the door. Then Portia was like, well, here comes the people that I don't like. And so Candy walks in. And then next thing you know, Cynthia and Kenya, they all walk in. So all of the ladies are in the house. Are at the restoration service, and Phaedra was like, I decided to do this because there's a lot of tension between this group. The group is pretty much broken. There's too much going on, so let's just get everything out on the table at this point and so we can try to be cordial or try to get along. We ain't got to be friends and hang out and all that, but when we come together as a group, we should be able to be cordial. So it starts off with Sheree. She confronts Kenya about making the comment about her domestic violence in the past. And Kenya was like, I just feel like you said something about provoking people. And I said something to you about the fact that you had men that jumped on you in the past. And, I just feel like this, Sheree. If you had a man to fight you in the past, all you had to do was admit that. But you really sit up there and lied and tried to act like you didn't know what the fuck Kenya was talking about. Now, granted, Kenya had no business bringing that up because it ain't really her place. And nothing is really ever Kenya's place to bring shit up anyway. But she always bring other folks' business up. So that's a no-brainer there. But you did sit up there when she brought it up and tried to act like you was surprised and say you didn't have a man to jump on you. When all this time, Bob put his hands on you, and now we know that, and you sit up there and you lied about it. So I don't understand why you felt the need to lie about it, but it really wasn't nobody's business. But the fact is that Kenya had already put it out there, and you could have just went ahead and admitted that and just said that instead of just lying about it and only to admit it later on. That's how I feel. But Kenya just, I don't know. I've been hot and cold with Kenya all season, so I really ain't had no reason to go in on her. But my thing about it is, Kenya, girl, hush. You know what I mean? You always want to bring up somebody's past or somebody to talk about what the fuck you doing. But at the same time, though, Sheree, you did make the comment about, Matt, you probably provoke everybody. Matt coming to your house, kicking windows in and shit like that. I mean, it's clear that you provoke everybody. So yeah, Sheree, you kind of open that can of worms at the same time, because if you've been in a domestic dispute before, you shouldn't be making no jokes about, people being hit by a man, or not even making a joke. You shouldn't even be making stupid ass comments like that when you had a situation with a man, because that could cause a question to say, did you provoke a man your damn self? And nobody who's been domestically abused want to hear no shit like that. And I know you don't. So come on now. That ain't even cool. Um so then we talk about Candy and Portia. Now this shit just left all of my brain. Just cut all my brain cells the fuck off. Okay. Here we go. Portia was like, I think you're mad at me because I said something that someone told me that I felt like was true, and you're upset with the truth. Portia, you know damn well, didn't nobody tell you shit. Nobody told you that. Nobody told you that. If the shit happened 3 years ago, why all of a sudden somebody told you that Candy was gonna drug your ass? Bitch, you a lie. You ain't doing nothing but lying. And even in this same fucking conversation, you admit that she lying. That you just said that shit out of thin air in the same fucking conversation. And you just can never take responsibility. You can never acknowledge a fucking wrong. When somebody do something to you, you can always say you were wrong, you did this to me, whatever. But when you do something to other people, you can never say when you fucking wrong. You can never take responsibility for your part in the situation. Bitch, you still upset about the whole Block thing. Candy never said that you fuck Block when she talked to Sheree. Okay? When she talked to Sheree, she said, yeah, he said things about me to Portia that Portia came back and told me what he said. And then Sheree said, well, why would he say anything to Portia? And Candy was like, well, he used to kick it with Portia. Blah, blah, blah. They used to date. Blah, blah, blah. She never said you fuck Block until you confronted her with it. So you used that whole situation with Block as a way for you to hop into the situation between her and Phaedra so you can have something to say and something to do and have a fucking storyline. Bitch, have a damn seat. Because that whole situation with Block and what Candy said was not that serious. It wasn't that serious. Period. Because she never said nothing about your sex life to begin with. She just said you dated him. Because Sheree wanted to know what it was, and you did tell Candy about some shit that Block said about you, about her. That's the only reason why it ever came out that you dated him in the first place. So, girl, please stop it with the bullshit, Portia, please, because you full of it. You just showing me that you ain't nothing but a fucking liar. You are a demented, deluded, dumbass bitch that want to sit up here and lie about every fucking thing. You are so stupid and dumb. You don't even know how many days of the year it is, let alone thinking that the Amtrak goes through the Underground Railroad. Bitch, have a fucking seat. I'm over you at this point. And then for you to say, if you say something about me, then I'm going to say something about you. Okay, so basically you said because Candy said something about Block, you going to make shit up about her just so you can have a comeback. You're a weak ass bitch. You're a liar, and I don't fuck with you. Can't fuck with nobody that lie like that. Period. Then she gonna say, and out of any situation, if you owe anybody an apology, you owe Phaedra an apology for what you did to her. Portia, you owe everybody in that room a damn apology. To be honest, you owe Candy one for lying. You owe Cynthia one for straddling her ass, and you owe Kenya one for beating her ass. But I mean, I didn't have no big issue with you beating Kenya ass, so whatever. But you ain't got the right to tell nobody who owe anybody. You owe Shamia a damn apology. You let Phaedra drag her and make up lies about her too. So you owe several people a fucking apology. You don't get to tell nobody shit. Bitch, sit the fuck down. Phaedra said, well, there's a lot of things that been said. I never was dating a bunch of men, and Candy said you were talking to another man, and she was like, well, it wasn't like I was just talking to him, like so bitch, you was talking to another man, okay? You were talking to another man before you got a divorce with Apollo. Big deal. You didn't want to be with Apollo no more. Apollo was giving you a bunch of drama. Who wouldn't want to talk to another man? Phaedra, stop it. Then she was like, well, as far as that's concerned, I mean, you said that I called the feds on you, and I never did that. So Candy did apologize for that. Something more. Candy did apologize. Something more than what the fuck Portia could do. Cause Portia ain't gonna apologize for shit with her dumb ass. She ain't gonna apologize for nothing. So Sheree and Bob, they meet up, and she confronts him about the whole thing that happened on the bus about the choking thing and how he made it a joke. And while they were sitting at the table, he was about to laugh again, and Sheree just walked away from the table, and Bob tried to stop her so he can talk to her about it, but she didn't want to hear nothing Bob had to say. To be honest, let's just be real, she was over it. He started laughing, she didn't want to hear about it. And Bob, you almost in your 50s and you still being childish like that. She trying to open up to you and you sitting up here laughing. So Sheree said that let her know that she was a fool for ever thinking that this man was going to do right by her. And she is a fool for thinking that at this point in time, if he was going to act like that. But with that being said, y'all, this is my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Be on the lookout for my Love and Hip Hop review. And I'm out of here. Till my Love and Hip Hop review, I'll talk to y'all later.